everyone, Chivos here, bringing my Hyundai A-League Fixture preview for the fixtures of Week 21. It's nearly the end of the season, we are slowly getting there. Now, the first game of the weekend sees Wellington Phoenix take on Melbourne City. Now, Melbourne City put in a good performance last weekend, while Wellington Phoenix suffered yet another defeat. Wellington Phoenix welcomed Damascus, Rodriguez and Rodderson to the first team squad, while hero to zero Hamish Watson is unavailable for the fixture due to his suspension after the red card he picked up last weekend. Melbourne City welcomed Brown, Marino and Casares to the first team squad, while Decker has been omitted from the squad and he's not going to be there for the fixture. Now, Melbourne City are playing well at the moment. They do see themselves sitting in the top four, and Wellington Phoenix are struggling. Their season's practically over. And Melbourne City, they need to cement their place in the top six. How are they going to do that? They're going to do it with a win. They're going to beat Wellington Phoenix away from home. And it's going to be a 2-0 win for Melbourne City. The second game of the weekend sees top of the table Western Sydney Wanderers take on an in-form Perth Glory. Now, Perth Glory have the chance to get into the top six this weekend if they pick up a win and results go their way. Well, Western Sydney Wanderers could start to build a gap at the top of the table if results go their way as well. Now, Western Sydney Wanderers welcome Alberto and Pepper to the first team squad, while they have no apparent outs. And Perth Glory welcome Warren and Gilbish to the first team squad, while they also have no apparent outs. So Perth Glory making a real good push. They are in form. They've been bagging a lot of goals. They scored 6 last weekend against top of the table Brisbane Roar. And I think they could probably do a job over Western Sydney Wanderers. Although Western Sydney Wanderers, a very good side, quite good defensively, and with their full strength squad available, I think they could do a job as well. Now, which way is it going to go? I think it's going to be split down the middle. There's going to be some goals. Perth Glory know how to score. So do Western Sydney Wanderers. I think this result is going to end in a 2-all draw. Now, the third game of the weekend sees Adelaide United take on Brisbane Roar. Brisbane Roar have slipped from the top of the table due to a 1-goal difference, while Adelaide United still continue their unbeaten run. And, I think it's 13 games now. They really are the dark horse to win the league. Although it doesn't look like it's certain, it looks like they've got the form. They're playing very well. They could do it. No doubt they could do it. But the question is, how are Brisbane and Western Sydney Wanderers going to react? Now, this is one of the biggest fixtures of the campaign for both teams. Adelaide United need the win here. It could do them a world of wonders. Well, Brisbane Roar need the win to maybe build a gap against Western Sydney Wanderers. Depends on their result. But it's going to be a tough game. Now, Adelaide United welcome Mells and Tongi to the first team squad, while they have no apparent outs. While Brisbane Roar welcome Brown, Clutt and Brady to the first team squad, while Donachie is out with an injury and he will miss the game. Now, Brisbane are level on points with Western Sydney Wanderers. They did concede 6 goals last weekend, while Adelaide United are unbeaten in 13 games. And it's just ridiculous. I don't think it's going to stop this week, though. I think they're going to pick up the win against Brisbane. If you ship 6 goals in a week, you're going to lack confidence next week. Now, I see Brisbane lacking confidence in the defence. While Adelaide United, yes, they don't have a good, recognised, fantastic striker. They're doing the job. Even if Adelaide United win this by 1-0, it wouldn't surprise me. But I think Adelaide are going to bag 2. I think Brisbane Roar only going to bag the 1 goal. I think Jamie McLaren's going to score again. I think it's going to be a 2-1 win for Adelaide United. The fourth game of the weekend sees my team Melbourne Victory take on Sydney FC in the final Big Blue derby of the regular season. Now, Melbourne Victory suffered defeat to Adelaide United last weekend, but we did pick up a win in the Asian Champions League midweek against Shanghai SIPG. Now, if you look at Sydney FC, they managed to draw in the Sydney derby last weekend. They did lose 2-0 last night in the Asian Champions League against Urawa Red Diamonds. Now, they had 2 errors which really cost them. One was a penalty by Jantanovic. I don't remember the first goal, but 2 errors did cost them. And they can't afford these errors going into the crunch time of the season, especially with Perth Glory 1 point off their tail. Sydney FC need to perform. Now, how's it going to go? I don't know. Melbourne Victory, though, welcome Barbarousis, Macaronis, and Deng to the first team squad, which is huge for them. While Geria is unavailable through suspension, so we might see Galloway or even Negro come up to the first team squad. If you look at Sydney FC side, they welcome Abbas and Tavares to the first team squad. They did play midweek, but they have no apparent out. So Sydney FC can rotate their squad this weekend. Melbourne Victory are going to have to, because both teams do play in the Asian Champions League next week as well. So Melbourne Victory are going away to Gamba Osaka in Japan. So we really need to rotate the squad, but we still need to win the Big Blue Derby. How's it going to go? I think squad rotation is going to be key. How things are going to work. Finkler's going to start. Kelfeller's going to start. Maybe Barbaroussa starts as well. Brisha surely going to start. But no, it depends how we play. Sometimes we look good. Sometimes we look really bad. We did look very good against Shanghai, though. If we continue that form, I think we're going to win. Although with Sydney's form, they lost midweek. They need to bounce back. I think they can. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw in the Big Blue Derby. Now, the final game of the weekend sees Central Coast Mariners take on Newcastle Jets in the final F3 derby of the season. Now, both teams are struggling clearly. Newcastle are certainly having a better season than they did last year, but not really performing to their standards. But the point is, technically, they are still in contention for the finals. I don't think they're going to make it, but they're still in contention. So they really need to work hard for that. If you look at Central Coast on the other side, they are really, really struggling. Now, Central Coast welcome Luis Garcia, Heffernan, Stella, McGing, and Fletcher to the first team squad, while Storm Rue, Poscaliero, and Ferreira are unavailable for the fixture. Now, it turns out Rue is out for the rest of the season, unfortunately for him. A fractured fibula, one of the leg bones. So it's fractured. He's out for the rest of the season. Let's hope he gets better soon. Now, on the other hand, we have Newcastle Jets. They welcome Kantarovsky and Polyak back to the first team squad, while they have no apparent out. So, Central Coast, they do have returns of some players, but they are missing some key players as well. Poscaliero at the back, also missing Rue at the back, and Ferreira in the centre of the pitch. It's going to be huge for them. Newcastle Jets looking strong. They can play their first team squad, and they really want to push for that top 6. So they are going to try their hardest to grab a win now. I don't think it's going to be high scoring, although Central Coast have been scoring quite a few goals lately. Defensively, they are still lacking. Newcastle Jets are lacking defensively as well, but they're starting to score more goals, which is good to see. So I think this result is going to end in a 1-0 win for Newcastle Jets. But they are my predictions for the Hyundai A-League fixtures of week 21. If you agree, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments section below. But if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to see more Hyundai A-League content, and hopefully I catch you guys on another video.